Hello and welcome to the latest video in our series where we've been looking at battery material processing, particularly using Matcon IBC technology. In this video, we're going to take a short look at how we can produce solvent-free electrodes with high-shear blending. Why would we consider using high-shear blending? Obviously, there is a process of dry electrode production called fibrillizing or fibrillation in the European Union. The North Americans tend to call it fibrillizing, but it's known by many words. Why are people looking to do that? Well, it's reducing manufacturing costs compared to conventional wet slurry casting methods. It reduces the amount of solvent used, therefore reduce the amount of plant and equipment required to handle that. It's a quicker process because you don't need to dry off that solvent once you've coated the slurry onto the foil. So what we're going to look at in the next couple of slides is why we would look at doing it in a different way than a conventional method. But ultimately what we're looking to do is to blend a binder into the material and produce a self-standing free supporting structure for that to be then rolled onto the foil. The graphic you can see there does show a few of the benefits and reductions in cost and energy use that you can get by moving away from wet slurry production. But we believe that there's a different way of handling that using Matcon IBCs. So as you maybe know, Matcon are the founders of cone valve technology using IBCs. Typically, Matcon IBCs are used to move materials between process steps, collecting raw material from the outlet of one and delivering it to the inlet of the second step. But what we want to consider and what we'll look at in the next slide is how we can turn that, what's traditionally a transportation vessel, into a process vessel. What that means is that the raw materials, the binders, are added to the IBC, they're closed, they're sealed inside that container. We will then process them and then discharge them directly into the process that's required. Traditional methods of producing dry electrodes currently would require the transportation step that we would normally use with IBCs or with conveying lines into and out of the process that will carry out the fibrillization of the binder. Whereas, as I said, with the Matcon system, we're looking to turn that transportation system into the process vessel, reducing the footprint of the factory required, reducing the amount of handling, reducing the amount of time it takes to produce that. So if we take a look at this video we're going to watch now, we'll start by taking the powder, which will be tipped into the IBC, in this case through a sieve, the powder there before it's being used into the container, and then we will rotate that container inside the frame. You see on the top of the container there, the motor that has a high shear blender, a blade that's providing shear to the process. During that process, the temperature will increase. The numbers you see on the screen there are in Celsius. So 45.8 degrees there, so that will allow the binder to be spread throughout the body of the powder. And now we come to discharge that powder using the cone valve technology. It's quite a lumpy material, doesn't want to flow very well, but because of the cone valve technology, we can ensure you can get that out of the process. It's unlikely any other discharge device in the market would get that. And you can see from that video there, a lovely clean internal surface. That hasn't been cleaned, that's just been discharged straight, the powder straight out of the bottom. And that's the resulting material there, the structure. On the left-hand side, the dry powder before the fibrillation of the binder, before fibrillization of the binder. On the right-hand side there, after the high shear mixing, we've got a nice sort of sticky mass ready to be rolled and put onto the foil for further processing into the battery. So it was a very brief introduction, very brief overview of that, but hopefully it gives you an idea of what you can do with IBCs and changing the way that we maybe manipulate powders through the factory. Obviously, if there's anything more you need, have a look at our website, do reach out to us and let us know if there's anything more you need. Thank you.